Not really one to cover hot fixes that often unless they're kind of important, but 22.8.2 last week and 22.8.3 this week have been classed as quality of life updates. And to be fair, that's exactly what they've done. These Plague Czar Strike, the Kripath, now uses the rapier's default holster position. There are things like the reduced VHEX Zap Magnetic, they've tweaked brightness and visuals to Frost Snow Globe, there's been a few tweaks to the Vault Timer UI and spy missions, they've tweaked Plains Bounty's objective texts, there's a few little things here and there. Probably my favourite is, I bought this thing seeing if the Kavat or the Kubro would pick it up and play with it, and it wasn't movable. I can now remove it. I thought it was just going to sit there and spin forever. Now I can move it and get it out of the way. As well as that, which to be fair was fixed last week, the prologue, and I've been in here trying to find it, and oh no, there it is. This is now replayable. If you haven't played it or seen anything about it, it's worth taking a look at. The only thing I can't find is what the exact requirements to it actually are, which is where the weirdness comes from this, more than anything else. But you can now replay the quest from here. When this quest actually comes is still kind of an unknown. Hopefully will be answered tomorrow in the dev stream, the first dev stream of 2018, where they will talk about what's to come. Might give it a time there, that might be why they've added the replay option now. There's optimization away from certain code throughout the whole game to make it, I think it's something like, it says, over 1% saving, which doesn't seem to come across as a lot. But the biggie to this is if you are farming for Excalibur, Frost, or Trinity parts. Now, Excalibur has always been here. Even after replacing the boss mission, which to be fair, that is still my favourite boss mission of all. The new Ambulus boss fight that came with the Ambulus event, it just added aspects that were great. The fact the ship shoots at you from a distance, also great. But Excalibur doesn't drop here anymore. Excalibur, you would think, would be on Venus where Rhino is. So the first frame you have an option to build is Excalibur, not Rhino. And then maybe move Rhino to somewhere like Earth, and it can continue from there if you're going to rework them. But Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are the first 4 planets. They're fairly easy to get to for new players. Excalibur now drops here. Krill now drops Excalibur and not Frost. So where is Frost, you may ask? Frost has returned to Ceres on this one, though it is a nightmare mission. So technically still drops from Krill, but only in the Krill and Captain Vor fight, which has obviously dislodged Trinity, and at this point you can probably guess Trinity has now moved to Pluto, which, to be fair, makes sense because Excalibur should be not easier, lower down the list of the planets you come to, not one of the last ones you come to. So it does make a weird kind of sense. Obviously Trinity being on a harder planet to get, Frost being back where Frost belongs on Ceres, and Excalibur being easier to get. Of course, if you started with Excalibur, then not so much, because if you have him for the first 3 and you unlock this, it means you are losing out on that new frame you can actually get to. But this does go to Phobos and to Ceres, so you can easily get to the other ones, just takes a little bit longer, so just gives you a good excuse to play more, because Frost being so close to Rhino, since they moved the bosses round, to me, has just really kind of never made much sense. So they've moved the bosses round, but one of my favourite ones that will probably go unnoticed is the in progress tab of the Foundry. This is where obviously you build the same things over and over again. Obviously if you're building weapons and such, this isn't such a good thing, But if you're building stuff like these new materials that you need from the Plains of Eidolon, energy restores, health restores, ciphers, even down to fishing supplies, in progress, once it's finished and you claim it, it stays. Now I'll quickly set this back off because I'm just kind of stocking up on those. But I'm not building any more energy things, mainly because I'm running really low on polymer bundles again. It'll stay there until you leave the window, and then it's no longer in progress. When you go back, it's gone. So when you're quickly in here building formers, catalysts, usable consumables, it'll stay there. And that is a very small change that makes things much easier to do. Just way easier than the way I used to do it was, I'll go into miscellaneous. Actually, that's a lie. I need gear. And for the arc wings, building some of those for the planes, I'll claim it and build it in here. Don't need to do that anymore. This tab is so much more useful now than it's just ever been. But anyway, as always, link in the description for full list of changes. We'll leave this off here for now, mainly because I really am getting sick of seeing this thing spinning around on the floor, and I just want to move it out of the way. It's fine down here, but up there it really was just kind of getting in the way. I know it's a subtle little thing, like being able to move it, but that made such the difference because it was kind of annoying me up here. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.